Five Hearts Under One Roof is an FMV game that took the streaming stage by storm. But to me, it's a little bit different than that. You see, I didn't just watch a streamer play this game. It was like, I have to get it. No, no. The higher power, also known as Steam, had bigger plans for me. They decided I was the chosen one. See, it was just a regular day, October 3rd. I was browsing Steam. Perhaps I was going to get a new game. I wasn't sure. And that's when she showed her beautiful face to me in all her glory, like a gift box just waiting to be unwrapped. She came for me. Now, I don't know what that says about the other type of games that I play for this game to be recommended to me on its release date, but how about you just mind your business, okay? All right. And I've gone through this entire game, sweating like crazy, getting every ending, secret ending achievement, except for that one secret achievement I have yet to get. And no, it doesn't drive me crazy. What gave you that idea? It does not drive me crazy. But besides the enticing views that the interactive movie gives, I believe that there is knowledge to be had. When you stop drilling over yourself like a mindless newborn baby and open up your ears. What is that sound? Oh my.
오, 이거 너네 집 주소잖아.
내렸냐? 아 어깨 좀 펴고.
나 잘 따라오긴 하셨으면 좋겠네요.
Whoa. Yeah, that's right. This game is from South Korea. I feel like with this type of game, since you're already spending so much time on it, why not stimulate your brain instead of just doing? You know. I know what you're doing when you play this game. Why are you doing that when you play this game, weirdo? Anyways, understanding a language's culture and nuances through a game like this is actually a pretty solid idea, since it already has a lot of attention on it despite it not being the first game. Well, the first type of game in this genre, which is an FMV dating sim, an interacting dating sim that's kind of like a movie, but it still has so much attention, so many eyes on it. And I believe that also brings attention to the country where it's from. Okay, so this is how we're going to approach these. We're going to do one episode per video. For each episode, we're going to go through all the possible choices. When there is a new word or concept that needs to be explained, we can go into a more detailed explanation for it. Otherwise, we'll just use this whiteboard here to go through the sentences. At the end of each episode, the game also calculates how many hearts you get for each of the girls, so we'll also be going through what they like the best, the least, and also what choices lead to get to secret endings, though there won't be any in the first episode. Let's jump into it, starting off with the title. No, not Five Hearts Under One Roof, but the actual Korean title, 학습생기 정보미녀입니다만. Instead of trying to directly translate it right from the get-go, let's break it down and see what each of individual words mean in order to have a deeper understanding. So we have hatsuk, meaning border, and just with that, you can kind of tell what this game is going to be about. Sing is person, e is a topic particle, which we'll go into more detail later. Chombu means all, it is usually followed by da, so chombuda. Da also means all. It kind of puts them together for extra emphasis. Minyo means beauties or a beauty. And then ibnida means A is B. So, for example, this is a pen. I am a student. A is B. And man with a question mark at the end means what if, but kind of in a cute way. So if you put it all together, you have border, person, all, beauties, what if? And if you rearrange the words to be kind of in a coherent English sentence, you have What if all of the boarders are beauties? So that is what this game is about. How exciting! What I recommend is writing down these words in their meanings. For instance, hasuk meaning border. So when we go through them again later in the game, you don't have to retranslate it and it doesn't have to be explained again. You already have it at least in your notes. So you can look back on that to see what it means. The first episode is called 학습생 구합니다. I feel like we should explain it now, even though it does come up later. But the plot of this game is that we are opening a hasukchib, a boarding house, which is basically like a house that you own. It's your house that you own, but you open it up for people to come live in and to also help pay the rent. So it's kind of like having roommates. But I'm not sure. It's like less of long term time. It's more for the time being. So these people are going to be boarding your house, kind of like an Airbnb. Like they're not here for a long time stay. And then we have 구합니다 from the verb 구하다, meaning to find. So when you put it together, you see that we're looking for / trying to find boarders. That's the subject of this episode. We start off with 유만의 kum. Our name in this game is Uyuman, literally translating to milkman. Yeah, moment of silence for that one. E is a possessive particle. For example, Jessica's bag, a dog's bone. It is only a possessive particle and pronounced this way when it follows after a noun. And then we have the word kum, which means dream. So, we're going to have a look at Yuman's dream. Let's go ahead.
시끄러워 죽겠네 진짜. 너 때문에 잠 다 깼잖아.
뭐래? 남이서 알람을 맞추던 말던. 오빠 잘 잤어?
야 우유만. 일어나지도 못할 거 알람은 왜 맞춰놓는 거야?
에이, 한두 번도 아닌데 뭐 어때? 새삼스럽게.
우유만 빨리 일어나야지.
Alright, well that gave you a glimpse of each of the girls' personalities. Masu comes in telling you that you're being way too loud, and this is the start of the subtitle choices. Not that the English subtitles are incorrect, for the most part. They still provide you with the needed information, but I feel like they leave out a pretty important part of their character. Certain words in the way that they are used can give you depth into their personalities, and when they don't do that, I feel like it's either because, well, one, they don't know how to translate it into English. Not everything is directly translatable, or they were trying to make it more digestible for English consumers, like it's more oversimplified so it's easier to understand. However, we're not going to do that here. We're going to give you everything that you need to know. Maisuki says, 시끄러워. 좋겠다, 진짜. 시끄럽다 means to be noisy. Chuk is the word for die, and then the yes is an intention to do something, something that will happen. So Masuki says that it's so loud that she will die, and the 진짜 it means really, but it's added at the end for extra emphasis to her overly dramatic statement. She then continues to say, 너 때문에 참 딱해였잖아. No means you. 때문 means because of or giving a reason for. 참 is sleep. And as we learned earlier, da means all. ket is a shortened form of 깨어나다, meaning to be awakened. And chana is used to imply something that it's used to imply that the listener already knows something about what is being said. And I literally cannot come up with any other example besides Tomorrow by Together's lore. From the Eternally teasers where Yeonju's like, 우리 사이를 걔들은 누군가가 했어. Saying that someone ruined their relationship. To which Bumgi replies, 형은 알고 있잖아. Like, you know who ruined it. Don't even try to act like you know. Like, you already know. Why are you even talking about this? Anyways, sorry. Let's get back to the game. So basically, Masuk is saying, because of you, she's all woken up. And then Umbi comes in saying, 뭐래? 남이 쌀 라면 맞추는 말든? Mure is a shortened form of 뭐라고 해, meaning like, what are you trying to say? Like, bro. Namisa is a different spelling of namesa, meaning somebody's other business. Is basically slang for dismissing somebody, like mind your own business, girl. We continue on with the particle which is an object particle. It doesn't really do much but add extra emphasis. So you can say alarm just by itself, but when you add the object particle, it gives you that extra knowledge that the alarm is the thing that is being talked about in the sentence. The alarm is the thing that is doing something. Machu means to set or adjust something, and dun is the shortened form of godun. It's like a sassy way of saying don't you know, but it expresses more of a feeling rather than a word being translated. You know what I mean? So what Umbi is saying is it's not her business if Yuman sets an alarm. She then continues on to ask us if we slept well. 오빠 잘 잤어? I feel like we should go through this now of the past form of as, os, yos, and this takes different forms depending on if it follows a consonant or a vowel. I won't go through it too much right now, but just know usually if you see that double S at the bottom of a word is the past tense. However, Grant does not agree with that statement. She comes in yelling at us. 야, 우유만, 일어나지도 못하고 알람을 왜 맞춰 놓은 거야? So, 일어나 means to wake up. 지도 means also or even. 못 means cannot, like something you cannot do. For example, 수영 못해요. I cannot swim. 하고 is something you do, with go being another form of 것, meaning a thing. And if you didn't know, 왜 means why. So you put it all together, and Grant is asking, if you can't even wake up, why do you set an alarm? We then get yet another girl, Min Jung-gi, and she combats with, 에이, 한두 번도 아는데 뭐 어때? 씀씀스럽게. 한두 번 means first or slash and the second time. 아니 means no, but in this context, we use as not. 근데 in this context means therefore or so. And 어때 is a thought or opinion. So you put it all together, and she's saying, it's not the first or second time, so what do you even care? It's the same as always. I don't really know how to explain 씀씀스럽게. It's just like something's happening again. Like, this always happened. Why are you even bringing it up? So Yuman is like, all right, girl, I better turn off this alarm because we have all these girls coming into my room yelling at me talking about this alarm. It's causing a whole entire rift. So let me just turn it off. He reaches out to turn it off, but then a hand comes out and he's scared. Girl, he is so scared. He's like, what in the world is this? We meet the last girl. Her name is Sungi, and she tells us we have to hurry up and get up. With pali meaning fast or quick, and heya means something that you have to do, something that must be done. And chi is a soft sentence ending. Well, this makes Yuman rage, and he asks who these girls even are. Why are they all in his room? Bro. That's your problem right now, bro. Now, I know that was a lot, but as we go through the episodes, less and less will need to be translated, and hopefully you will feel yourself understanding more. Yuman then wakes up to find out that it was all just a dream. Once he leaves his room, however, he sees that his mom and dad are all packed up and ready to leave, much to his surprise. Now, we're giving a lot of good information, but nothing as good as when I replayed this and learned that Yuman is 30. 30, yes, 30, girl, 30. And I'm not judging him for living with his parents because it's pretty common in East Asia, at least for what I've seen for Korea and Japan, for them to live with their family until they get a family of their own, right? I'm judging him because I know the things that he does in the future. I know what Yuman does, and I'm like, he's 30, acting like that, and you will too, very soon. But for now, let's just get back into it. Anyways, his parents leave, and Yuman is tasked with opening up the house to be a share house because his dad dragged him about not having enough money to keep the lights on when they're not there.
사내 자식이 나이가 곧 30인데 그걸로 용돈벌이 하고 있어. 집 잘 지키고. 자 갑시다.
Okay, let's actually go through the paper. So we have 하숙 집 모든 표현에 시소원비 각방. So it's saying each room will have these amenities that are like for comfortably living. We have 화장실. 화장실 이게 공과금, 인터넷, 책상, 침대, 냉장고, 에어컨, boiler. They really slowed down at the end of there with the desk and a bed. Yeah, I hope I'm like renting out this place and it comes with a desk and a bed. Thank you. I can't believe I'm finally in Korea, and after such a long flight too. Can't wait to just get in bed and catch a few of these, you know what I mean? And the listing looks incredible. Almost too good to be true. You know what? Now I'm overthinking things. Let's just open the door. I can't believe I'm finally here. Okay. Let's go. What? Yuma wakes up again, this time feeling refreshed, probably due to having the house to himself. But, uh-oh, he woke up late on the day he has an interview and he can't find his necktie. Almost. This is the first interactive part of the game, so let's have a look around. First, we take a look at the koshi, the living room, where we get some interesting information about the milk running out, despite Yuman not really drinking milk that well. Interesting. We go back to our room where we ask for support from our almighty savior, Ming Ming. Look at this AI photo that's supposed to be from our childhood. And we talk about how we need to put out these boarding house papers by today, giving us a little bit of context that maybe it's been a few days since his parents have left. And in his room, we find the handwritten letter that he wrote for our goddess, Ming Ming. It was kind of hard to read it since, you know, it was handwritten, but let's go through it. It says, To Mikogozu 밍밍님, 이 편지를 언제 들을 수 있을지 모르지만 늘 푹시 가지고 있는 저는 밍밍님의 오랜 팬입니다. 밍밍님을 알게 된 6년 전부터 저는 처음으로 누군가를 모통권적으로 응원한다는 게 얼마나 행복한 건지 알게 되었습니다. 늘 밍밍님의 행복을 바라며 언제같이 뒤에서 함께 할게요. 사랑합니다. From 당신의 팬 우유만. To Milk Girls Ming. I don't know when I'll be able to give you this letter, but I always have that I am a longtime fan of Ming. When I learned of you 6 years ago, for the first time, I learned how happy it is to support someone unconditionally. I always wish for Ming's happiness and to be with you from behind for a long time. I love you. From your fan, Milkman. It's a pretty sweet letter, actually. He also smells his laundry, which almost kills him, so... yeah. He goes to investigate the attic for absolutely no reason at all, where we get another nugget of information that he was never allowed to go up there ever since he was little. Interesting. But now, Yuman can't take this. He has to hurry up and get going or else he's going to be late for his interview. And that's when he mysteriously finds his tie on the couch, where we didn't see it earlier, and he didn't leave it there. Interesting indeed. Anyways, we finally get outside and find the perfect place to put up our boarding house paper, but a harmony, which just means grandmother, stops us, hits us, and scolds us. She does not want us to put this up simply because she just doesn't want us to. But Yuman begs for it to stay up at least just for 2 days, to which she agrees. And that's the end of the first chapter. Next, we go to the internet cafe where our childhood friend from the AI photo works. There, she jokingly tells us that we're blacklisted from this place. We then get our second interactive of the game. The first option is 맨날 욕 먹고서 아주 청소할 것 같다. 맨날 means every day. 욕 means a swear word. Also is a connector meaning because or so. 아주 is very. And 청소하다 means to live to a great age. So, the first option translates along the lines of, I feel like I'll live a long life being sweared at like this every day. To which she replies, 뭐라고? Like she's about to slap you. The second option is 너나 잘해, which can be roughly translated into do well by yourself, but is slang to mean mind your business. To which she responds, 난 잘해거든. She says she is. She's taking care of herself, bro. Don't even. The third option is 내가 여기 아니면 갈빛이 반개 없는 줄 알아? He's saying, do you really think I have no other internet cafe to go to besides this one? Oh. Okay, so that's how we're gonna play. So Matsuki responds with, you must have lost your... Oh my god. Can she say that?
That word
Amen,
invented.
sister. I know that's right. Which can also be translated to, are you crazy? Like, have you lost your mind? And the final option is where you do your best fan service and say, 알았어. Masuki likes it. Finally, Masuki takes a good look at us and asks us if we're going to a job interview, to which we say, yes, Milk Corporation, much to Masuki's disbelief. This gives us two hints, one being that it's probably a big-time company, and two, that we're most likely way underqualified, which is probably true. We finally learn why we came here in the first place, which is to print our resume. While we do that, Masuki looks at the boarding house papers. We probably brought extra to post around the city to get more people to come in, which we didn't. I don't know why. Masuki sees it and she's like, hey, isn't this your address? Like, this is my hangout spot, so I don't know what you're thinking about this, but it's my hangout spot. And Yuman is like, my parents, man, they're making me do it. I don't have money. I need people to pay the rent. And she's like, well, if you're really gonna do that, what about letting me in too? And he says, girl, you gotta pay. I mean, he's standing on business, but at what cost, bro? Anyways, after he completely rejects her, he asks her to put on some Milk Girls, to which Masu completely loses it.
너가 그렇게 백날 첫날 들어봤자 걔네들은 너 숨 쉬는 거조차 모르거든?
Yeah. But then someone else walks in. This guy seems to be a regular and maybe even pretty close with Masuk from the way that she calls him Oppa. Now he does try to make a move on her, but Yuman, ever the attention seeker, goes, 안녕하세요. He wastes no time scolding us for being here this early in the morning. We're like, no. Like, I got a job interview. I'm here to print out my resume. And he's like, bruh, another job interview? Like, why do you keep going to those job interviews when you always fail? I told you, just come work at my company. You can do some cleaning. And I'll pay you big bucks. I'll pay you some big bucks for these part-time jobs, bro. Like, I'm different, bro. I'll treat you well. And Yuman, for some reason, is against this. So then we have our third interactive of the game. The first option is 말대 구하기, which means to talk back. 그럼 너 어차피 뒤치고 왜 서냐? 어차피 means anyway or in any case. 뒤치다 means to fall behind, and 사다 is to buy. So Yuman is saying, why buy it if you're gonna fall behind in the end anyways? And Sausage Man is like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And Yuman comes up with the receipts. He says, 아버지 회사라서 겨우 돈이나 버는 게. 라서 means because. 겨우 means with difficulty. 돈 means money. 벌도 means to earn or make. So when you translate it, he's saying like, it's your dad's company, so it must be hard to make money, referring to what he said earlier, what Sausage Man said earlier, like, I can pay you well. It's like, you're not even getting paid well. Like, how are you going to pay me well? And so then Sausage Man, he's defending, he said, 뭐 인마? 인마 is like a way of calling someone younger. It's like saying, what, you punk? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what you trying to say? And so for the first time in Yuman's life, he says a cool one-liner. Masuki starts blushing. She's like, oh, 알았어. And then he leaves. Yeah. But in typical Yuman fashion, the second option is Masuk 뒤로 숨기, which is to hide behind Masuk. He shyly says, 저 청수를 잘못했어. 괜찮아요. So his sausage man says, 남자 새끼가 피기가 없어. 어? 새끼 means bastard, and piggy means spirit. Unable to take this pitiful show any longer, Maosuke decides to step in.
아 어깨 좀 펴고.
아 오빠 왜 이래? 그만해. 무섭게. 너 이거나 챙겨서 얼른 나가.
말수가 고마워. 나 간다.
I mean, get on Maosuke for solving the problem so quickly, but you know what? Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. The next choice is to try and punch him. Yuman tells Sausage Man that his zipper is down and then he powers up for the punch. But girl, tell me why he powers up while making the noise. He's like, "Ah." Girl, of course he saw that coming. He heard it coming from a mile away because he over here screaming in his ear. So Sausage Man dodges that, and with his tail in between his legs, Yuman hurriedly scurries out of the PC방. The last option and the only acceptable option for me is 형에게 뽀뽀하기. 뽀뽀 meaning kiss. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna go in for some sweet lip action. Well, a little bit anyways. Your silence makes Sausage Man wonder, like, what, you don't want to do cleaning or something? And that's when you go in for the kill. He is shocked by this, like, what are you doing? But when you go in for that second kiss, he's like, I mean, he's not opposed to it. He's not pushing you back or nothing. He's not fighting or nothing. I'm just saying. He's not completely opposed to it. Now, let me tell you, he may be surprised. I may be surprised. My mama was surprised too. But she didn't play this game, so she wasn't that surprised. But nobody is as surprised as Maosuke was. She was over here. Oh my gosh, bro. Did y'all see that? Yeah. Yeah, that's what happened. At this point, we seriously wasted some time. We need to be at that interview like yesterday, girl. So we tried to flag down this taxi, but...
택시.
Oh my.
택시.
Who is this? The taxi that we flagged down goes to her rightfully so, and she takes it rightfully so. Like, girl, you can have anything that you want. Well, that's what I'm saying. But to you, man, this is a disgrace on his entire, like, everything, bro. He's like, nah, girl. He throws a whole entire hissy fit talking about, I call this down, like, driver, you stop for me, right? And that's when we get another interactive choice. You can choose to give up on the ride. 포기하기. Yuman decides, you know what, girl, just have it, okay? And he tells the driver to just get going. Turns around, and he like instantly regrets. He's like, when is another taxi gonna come though? Like, I'm gonna be late. But then an angel calls out from the distance. It's Gran, and she gives us the offer to ride together, to which we like, yes, ma'am, I will take that in a heartbeat. And did, okay? So we sit in there, we're like, oh, thank you so much, girl. And she's like, she gives us her reasoning.
아 진짜 감사합니다. 같이 가져가 주셔서.
찝찝하잖아요. 나쁜 사람 된 것 같고.
We then decide we want to lord dump on her, to which she responds with,
완전 큰일 나거든요.
because she gets a phone call. She starts off with, 여보세요? Which means hello on the phone when you're talking on the phone. Oh, 엄마. So you know she's talking to her mom. Let's go into the rest of it as well. 엄마가 그렇게 말해도 나 구집 다시 안 들어가? 아니, 아빠 사업 때문에 하는 결혼하기 싫다고. 집 구하면 다시 연락할게. So, from that, we learned that she is looking for a place to live. Wonder where she'll choose. The next option is 같이 타기, which means to ride together. In typical man fashion, Yuman forces himself into her space, to which she is like, what do you think you're doing? And he's like, girl, chill, like, I'll cover the fare, like, I'm so nice, I'll cover the fare. And she's like, this has nothing to do with money. And he just yells at the driver to be like, hey, you can go ahead and start driving, man, don't even worry. Much to Gran's annoyance. He then tries to salvage the moment by explaining his situation, but Gran takes the phone call with her mom again. After the phone call for both previous options, there is a quick time decision where the car suddenly stops. You can either A. 그란을 잡아주기, which is to grab her. Now, what I'm thinking is like when a car suddenly stops and you like reach out your hand so the person doesn't fly into the windshield. You want to guess what Yuma decided to do? Yuman tries to explain himself like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to, until Gran has to remind him that he has yet to remove his hand off of her thigh. Real smooth, Yuman. Real smooth. But there's also option B, 안전벨트 자랑하기, which is to brag about your seatbelt. We laugh at Gran for not having her seatbelt on, and she's like, what? Like,
방금 그거 뭐죠?
I'm looking for the joke, but I'm not finding one. Like, what's up with that? We then start to mansplain to her about what a seatbelt is and how to use it. And I guess the only reason why she doesn't slap us in the face is because we reach over and put the seatbelt on for her. And I guess she finds that romantic. But let me tell you, Gran, I could do a lot better than him. You do not need to settle for Uyuman. We arrive at the company and we turn around to see that Gran has mysteriously disappeared. But wait, don't tell me you forgot that there was a third option back when we were arguing over the taxi, which is 혼자 타기, which is to ride alone. Now, I want you to take a guess as to how Yuman pulls this off. Does he close the door like a gentleman and walk off and another taxi magically just appears from thin air and he gets to his interview on time? No, you sweet, dumb, naive child of mine. No, he doesn't do that. Are you kidding me? He grabs her arm and he apologizes. Yeah. And he pulls her and throws her onto the street. He knows that what he's doing is wrong from the way that he's like stuttering around and he jumps into the taxi. And Gran, sitting on the floor, yells at him and throws her shoe at him, rightfully so. And from the safety of the taxi, he sighs. He's like, "Oh, man, that was a close one, wasn't it?" And when you show up to the company, he looks up at the building and he sighs in relief that he made it to his interview on time. Man, I sure hope this doesn't come back to bite him in his butt later. After that very exciting ride, we enter the company and briefly talk to a security guard who has absolutely no importance in this game whatsoever. We finally enter the interview room where we see no other than Gran is going to be one of the managers to interview you for this position. Man, I sure hope you didn't make any poor decisions before this. We introduce ourselves and then we get into the first question.
자, 그럼 질문을 드릴게요. 달리기를 하는 3명이 있습니다. 그때 결승선 앞에서 3등이 2등을 제쳤다면 과연 그 3등은 몇 등을 했을까요?
For the first two options, it's pretty straightforward, but for the third one, you can choose 문체에 반박하기, which is to refuse the question. I mean, you, Uyuman, did not come here to this interview for such questions. I mean, you thought this was a big-time company. How dare they ask you such silly questions? Okay, yeah, that answer was bad, but surely it couldn't get any worse.
그딴 건 모르겠고 제가 면접관님 정도는 제낄 수 있겠네요.
You know what? Let's just move on to the next question. Yeah.
100을 반으로 나누고 또 2분의 1로 나누면 어떻게 될까요?
This one is pretty much the same, where you can answer as expected. You know, actually try to do math. Or you can 정성스럽게 대답하기, which is answer heartfeltly. It's where Yuma makes a play on the words used during the question. Now, these weren't your typical interview questions. Nonetheless, we tried our best to answer, to which Gran didn't approve. Yeah, she gets onto us for even thinking we can get into this company with our type of qualifications. And then she yells at the assistant manager for not thoroughly going through the interviewee applications. Oh,
죄송합니다.
but then she hires us anyway?
그냥 이 사람은
Yay us, I guess. Yuman is feeling this uncertainty as well, so while the assistant manager is cleaning up, we decide to put salt in his battered wound and ask if we got the job. Just looking at him, you can see the resentment in his eyes, maybe just a little bit if you look a little bit closer, please. We watched him get yelled at and even got hired despite being nowhere near the qualifications. But he says yeah and to just come in starting from tomorrow morning. Nice. We then get a segment where we check our messages. Our mom tells us not to do things like don't forget to eat, don't stay up all night playing video games, don't even dare think about going to the third floor, simple things like that. We were also talking to a seller on Tomato Market about buying a signed CD of Milk Girl's album, to which we agree to meet up later that day. We also chat with Nasuk where we talk about the interview. You can either lie to her or tell the truth. All three options. She asks you to get drinks with her, to which you ignore and talk about Milk Girls. How are you fumbling this bad, Uyuma? After those lovely chats, we finally go to get our signed CD. We arrive at the agreed location where the seller is. Wearing the exact same clothes from her profile picture? With the same background too. Anyways, we go up to receive the signed CD where Yuman is trying to give her some information to which she obviously does not care. He's raving about this album. I mean, it even has his bias's signature. And she's like, damn, bro, like you really like them that much? And he says, man, I'm only obsessed with Milk Girls. Milk Girls is my everything, bro. And the wind was like, oh, for real? Okay, check this out. Boom. Her hat gets knocked off, and who is it? It is no other than Milk Girls, Ming. Oh, Yuman, what will he do when he comes face to face with his longtime idol? Well, the first option is 사진 요청하기, which is to request a photo, which is probably a bad choice since she did come here somewhat undercover, but Yuman still begs her for at least one photo, and she's feeling all flustered and awkward. She's like, sorry, and then she starts running away. He's like, please, just one photo, please, just one photo, and she starts running. But thankfully, when she starts to hide, Yuman pretends he doesn't know where she is, and he continues on his way. And then there's a second option, 춤추기, to dance. I think this has to be like a panic response because, like, not saying that he hasn't planned this moment out, like, oh my gosh, I know all the dance moves, I'm gonna dance for her. But the way that he does it, it's such a flustered way. He's like, oh my gosh, I've been a fan for so long and I even know every single one of your choreographies, watch me. And then he goes on to sing in a monotone, kind of nervous voice, just like, and she's like, okay, yeah, that was very good. He's like, I'm not done. Wait a second. I'm not finished. And she's like, no, I've seen enough. And he's like, I'm not finished yet. And so she runs off and then she hides again. And Yuma pretends he doesn't know where she is. Now, this next one is diabolical, like straight to jail. This one is 바지 내리기, which is to pull down your pants. Now, when I hear or see something like this, I'm thinking, he's about to flash her in this park. Like, no wonder she came here in complete disguise because she's afraid of meeting creepos like him. But thankfully, it's not. Well, there's no way that you can say like this is good. There's nothing good about this. So he pulls down his pants, right? And he's like, "Oh my gosh, I've been a fan for so long." And he pulls down his pants. This man literally says, "Acha," like here we go, like cha, and then he says, "저 팬티 사인해 주세요." Like, please sign my underwear. Rightfully so, Minchong, she screams. She's like, what are you doing, bro? Literally, what are you doing? She starts running. She does not hide this time. She is running far, far away. And Yuman, probably with his pants down to his ankles, starts chasing after her. He says, I love you, bro. You're the center of my life. And she literally screams, Samuel Chusio! Like, save me. Someone please save me. And this man, I kid you not, he whoops. He's like, whoa! This man is on demon time, bro. What is wrong with him? We need to lock him away. But thankfully, the last option is complete opposite of whatever that was. The last option is 모르는 척하기, which is to pretend you don't know. So Yuman is surprised to see his bias right there, like in all her glory. Min Jung-hee is standing there, and he's surprised. But thankfully, he plays it off. He's like, oh, Mukaga is a Ming Ming. Again, like how'd you get this from Ming Ming? Like how'd you get this? The signature, girl. Oh, girl. How'd you get the signature from Ming Ming? She's like, oh, I just got it sometime. And he's like, oh, cool. I guess I'll leave now. And he's like, oh, wow, I'm so happy I got this album. Woo. While adrenaline is like running through his blood from meeting his bias. And he played it cool. That's how you're supposed to act, Yuman. You do not pull your pants down to chase somebody while they're screaming. Oh my goodness. Alright, after getting his CD, he finally goes home. But, wait a second. Do you guys hear that? If you choose Went to Golmok, you see Sausage Man and he asks you how your interview went. You tell him, yeah, I mean, everything's great. I'm going to be starting tomorrow. And you know what Sausage says?
그래? 아쉽네.
네?
아니야.
Yeah, that's right. He says, 아쉽네. Meaning, that's a shame. Girl, like, what? Wait, no, wait, what? Like, what? Whoa. What's a shame? Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean, what a shame? And Yuman is wondering the same thing. He's like, hey, what do you mean by that? And Sausage Man dejectedly says, nothing, just go ahead and get home. We're like, okay.
네.
What you mean by that? Like, what do you mean it's a shame? Like, oh, guys, he just wanted to work together. Like, he honestly thinks that his company is so good and he just wants to work with you, man. Like, literally, that's the only thing. Like, oh my gosh, why are you thinking so much into this? Oh. If you go Kalm Golmok, which is the middle alley right ahead, Yuman stumbles upon a couple making out, and this weirdo, he like gets up all up in their face. He's like going different angles and everything. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're making out right here. Oh my gosh, these young people. He's literally gasping like he's never seen people make out before. He is gasping right in their ears, and they just have to pretend they don't hear him, just keep on. And he's like, wow, oh my gosh, like, Yuman. Hey, buddy. Hey, you. If it bothers you that much, you know you don't have to sit there and watch, right? Like, you have the power to leave and go home. But he decided to just sit there and be like, oh my gosh. They're making, in front of me. They are making out. Oh my goodness. In front of my salad. Soon enough, his senses come to him and he finally decides to leave the making out couple alone. But as he's walking, he's in his own little world, still thinking about the making out properly, and he hears a voice. Yeah, Yuman. He turns around and he's shocked. His heart. Anyways, his heart done jumped out of his chest. But who is it? Sausage-man. Now this I like. Well, Sausage sees him. He sees him being spaced out or whatever in his own little world, and he thinks to himself, I guess the interview must not have gone well. Like, why are you so startled? So then he offers and asks Yuman if he wants to eat his sausage to make him feel better. Guys, don't play with it. Don't play with it. Yeah, and I guess in Be Mine, they were only talking about eating each other's popsicles. Yeah, it was literal popsicles, not actual. Talk to the hand because the face don't understand. Keep it moving. Yuman shyly accepts it, and then Sausage asks him again to join his company. Yuman is flustered. First I eat his sausage, and then he wants us to share spaces together. Like, this is a lot. We're doing a lot really fast, you know what I mean? This is his first time doing something like this, all right? So, he's really unsure what to do, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'll think about it, and he starts to leave. And Sausage is like, no, you seriously think about it. Like, I'm seriously offering it to you. Like, seriously. Hey, seriously, you and me, we could be a thing, guys. I promise. Just let me. Anyways, if you choose to go to the right alley, 오른쪽 골목, you will find out that the noise just came from a cat playing in the trash. He finally gets to head home, where he sees that the Halmoni did not take down the poster as promised. But wait, 2 contact slips have been ripped off. Will we get some new boarders coming to the house soon? Well, Yuman doesn't think too much of it. He just decides to go home where his door is slightly ajar.
분명 문 잠궜는데.
Now this is scary. He says that he clearly locked it when he left. Of course you did, Yuman. I hope you did. Yuman decides to grab the broom by the door, and this is where you get another quick time event. You can either make yourself be known. Since Yuman is just such an alpha male, he's going to let them know that they stepped into the lion's den. You want to mess with my house, my family? You're going to have to pay with it. You can yell your little heart out when you go inside the house. Or the second option is to enter quietly, where you enter quietly. That concludes the first episode of 5 Hearts Under One Roof. It's a nice little setup for what this game will turn out to be. So this is how the progress bar will look if you get all the right choices, which are
매날 욕
먹었어. 아주 장수할 것 같다. 알았어. 말대 구하기,
왜 사냐?
포기하기,
맞는 것 같습니다.
암촌 덜트 자랑하기.
살아남을 수 있죠.
2등
2등입니다.
팩,
답은 100입니다.
모르는 척하기.
좀 됐어요.
And if you care about Sausage Man, 포포하기 to get the ending where he offers you a sausage stick. And this is how the bar will look if you get everything wrong, which are 너 나 잘해.
잘하고 있거든.
내가 여기 아니면 갈피시 방이 없는 줄 알아? 말쑥 뒤로 숨기,
괜찮아요.
혼자 타기,
야!
그란을 잡아주기,
그게
미친 거 아니야?
사진 요청하기,
밍밍이다. 와 대박.
춤추기,
어떻게 이렇게 만나요? 대박.
바치 내리기.
와 진짜 대박.
I hope you guys enjoyed watching. 5 Hearts is such a great game beyond just the sexual nature. So I hope you guys come back for the next episode where we get to see even more of the girls, learn more about them, and see how our actions affect the game. Thank you, ladies and germs, who are watching, and I'll see you in the next one.